and teaching are done.
Yeah, it feels like you're the one who saves me.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm back today with a video which is a story time video. I've got myself a cup of tea. I'm sitting in my bedroom at the minute because this is the best lighting. I'm in front of a nice big window. Where I usually film downstairs is really dull and dark because it's a really gloomy day today, but actually the lighting up here is pretty good for filming a video, so we're going with that. And I just thought we can treat it like a FaceTime call where I'm ringing you and I'm telling you all about my life and what's going on at the minute and why I've left teaching. Just explaining what has gone on with my career, why I've decided to give it the change, the chop, whoosh, why it's gone. And the reason is mainly down to stress. Although I absolutely loved everything about teaching, it was all the behind the scenes stuff that started to really get to me. And it just got to the point where I thought, you know what, it's not worth it. But it was a really difficult decision because I spent a lot of years at university training to be a teacher, and I was a nursery practitioner for a few years before that. And then when I got my qualification, I've been teaching for 12 years. So it's kind of really embedded in me that I am a teacher. Like, I am a teacher, that's what I do. So it's been really hard to kind of just turn my back on that. But the good thing about being a teacher is that I always have it to fall back on. So yes, I'm trying something new, but I can reassure myself that if I don't like it, it's fine. I can always go back to teaching. So that kind of is helping in a way. So first of all, I'm just going to talk about what I loved about teaching, because there's so much stuff that I absolutely loved about teaching. I've taken some notes here just so I don't forget things. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. But I absolutely love being with the children. Favourite part of the job. They make my day so much better. Just being around little people. The things they come out with is so funny, and you're just able to help them and nurture them, and it's so much fun. Like, that part of the job, I honestly can't believe I got paid to do. Like, I just loved that part so much. And I also loved how you would teach them something and you would see them progress across the year, and you'd be like, oh my goodness, like, I've taught them that, they didn't know that. And it's so cool to just kind of see them develop and their minds expand and then become their own little personalities, because I worked in early years, so I worked with up to 5-year-olds. So I would see such a big difference from like when they were 2 to when they were 5. And it was also amazing when you get to know their little personalities, what they like to do, how they like to learn, and you can plan all the activities around those children. It was just, that was the best part of the job, just being with those kids. And obviously a huge perk of teaching is the amount of school holidays that we get. I think it's something like 14 weeks a year off on school holidays, 6 weeks in the summer, 2 weeks at Christmas, 2 weeks at Easter, and half-term weeks here and there. But at the same time, those holidays were so needed because you're just so tired and drained, and you physically can't keep going on. Like, some half-terms are 8 weeks long, and by the end of it, honestly, you're just wiped out. Any teacher will tell you that you're so tired by the end of those half terms. So those weeks come and you really need them, and you really need to rest. And I was struggling with that because I would have my children, because they're obviously off school as well, so I wouldn't get any rest during the holidays, and then I'd be back into it. So that was something that I really did struggle with as the time went on. And then also the pay was great. I'd worked my way up the main pay scale to the top of that, and then I went on to leadership. So I was getting more money for being a leader, and I was also getting a TLR and SEN allowance. So I was on a really cushy wage, which was awesome. But happiness is worth way more than money, as you've seen me talk about in one of my previous videos. It wasn't worth the money to be feeling the way that I was feeling, so I just had to scrap it. So in March, April time last year, I experienced real burnout. It was awful. I was so stressed that I was picking at my thumb to the point where this was bleeding. I was rubbing my ear without realising, and it was all bruised. Like, I was taking things out on my body without even like consciously knowing that I was doing it. I was having panic attacks in my sleep. I was stressed. I was on the verge of tears all of the time. Everything just felt like it was falling apart, and I didn't have control over anything, and it was such a horrible feeling. And if you're going through that right now, let me know and I'll pray for you, because there's no need for you to be feeling that way. But it's just so easy to fall into that with teaching, because you've got so much pressure, not only from leadership but on yourself as a teacher, because you know that you are responsible for those children, and it's a big responsibility. And I really struggled with that, like the expectations that I would put on myself and that leadership would put on me, because I'm very much a yes person and I don't like to let anyone down. I would say yes to extra tasks, and then I would just be stored under with work. And I went part-time as a part-time teacher, so I was working only on the afternoons, and I would literally be working every single morning at home on the computer when I was supposed to be spending time with Thomas, my little boy. I would be doing schoolwork, and I was like, this is just, it can't go on. I can't keep doing this much paperwork, but there was nobody else to do it, so I had to. And that was mainly for my Senko role. So I had a lot of education, healthcare plan referrals needing to be made. I had a lot of doctor's letters to write and a lot of paperwork to just keep on top of, because we had so many SEN children that year. So I just found that I was never getting a break, and when the boys were going to bed, I would be crying to my husband and saying, I've got all this work to do, but I'm so tired, and it just got too much. And I had to take time off. So I had counselling, and they told me that I was experiencing burnout. It's really common in teachers apparently, and they said you just need to take some time off to rest. And I actually ended up taking 3 months off just to completely rest. But during that time, my head teacher would phone me every single week, ask how I was doing, when I thought I was coming back. She got occupational health involved. It was a whole like pressure on me to come back to work. She said that she was doing it to check in, but it was really not helpful at all. I would literally, my body would be shaking when I saw her calling, because I would relate her to work and then I couldn't rest. And I actually ignored her phone call one day. 3 times she phoned me in the same day. I ignored her phone calls, and then she phoned my mum and asked my mum if I was okay, which I'm sure probably breaks some laws. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure she shouldn't be doing that. And it just, honestly, it just got way on top of me. I was like, what do I do to escape this job? So I went back anyway. It was either the end of May or the beginning of June, and I handed in my notice. I was like, look, I can't do this anymore. It's just too stressful for me. I don't need to do this anymore. I don't want to come back. So I handed my notice in, and I had to work that the rest of the school year, and then I left. It was like a breath of fresh air, just the relief that came with knowing that I only had a few weeks left there. So then I didn't know what to do, and I applied for some jobs, and then I pulled out of all the interviews because I was freaking out and thinking, no, I'm not ready to go back to work. So I've been doing supply teaching in the meantime, which has been okay. Not very good money earner, but it's definitely been good for my mental health to just be able to pick and choose when I work. And although I've absolutely loved having that freedom, unfortunately financially we can't survive on the amount of money that I'm earning. So I am going to have to go back to work. So I thought, right, what can I do instead then? Because when you've been a teacher all of your life, it's like you don't know what else you can do. So I started looking up transferable skills, like what else could I do? And my friend Katie actually works for the company that I am going to work for, and she deals with recruitment. She writes the advert, she deals with all the media for the business. So she sent me an advert which was for executive personal assistant. I can't say the company or who I'm executive personal assistant for privacy reasons, but I'm really excited. I think it's going to be an amazing opportunity. Initially, I thought it was 2 days in the office and 3 days at home, which is why I applied for it. But because the law has now changed around COVID and that you won't be working from home anymore unless you absolutely need to, now I think it's going to be office-based with the option to work from home, like if I really need to. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to the fact that it's going to be full-time and that I'm going to have to leave Thomas, but I am blessed in the fact that my mum can watch Thomas, which is really nice because I trust her and I know that he's safe with her and has lots of fun. So that's an ease off my mind, but it is hard as a parent, isn't it? When you're going to work and you're leaving your children, you get the huge amount of mum guilt, and I'm definitely experiencing that. But on the other side of things, I'm thinking, right, this is the kind of job where I can go to work, I have some time for myself, and then when work is finished, I close the door and I leave work there, and I can come home and I can just relax and be with the children, and I've got all weekend with them, and I can choose my holidays now, so it doesn't have to be in school time, which is actually a bonus because you can get cheaper holidays. And it'll just be so nice to have time at home actually for me, instead of having to do planning and assessments and marking and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited about that, but I'm also keep telling myself, like, if you hate it, it's okay, you can go back to teaching, you can go back to supply teaching. So I've kind of got a way out if I need to. New a whole new wardrobe of nice smart clothes just so that I look more presentable, because let's face it, most of the time when I was going to schools I would be wearing leggings, Dr. Martens and a baggy jumper or something like that. So it's going to be quite nice to have to like dress up for work and wear heels and things and feel professional, even though I was a professional. I was in a nursery school, so we absolutely did not dress professionally, otherwise our clothes would be ruined in Play-Doh and paint. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. And I love stationery. I'm excited about the executive assistant role because it's all calendars, diaries, colour coding, sitting in meetings and taking minutes. So that's going to be my new job. I probably won't be able to take you along with me like I have been on some of my teacher vlogs. I don't think that I will be able to do that at all. In fact, not going to be the kind of office that you can take cameras into and stuff. But I'm sure on Instagram I'll be able to kind of show you around the office and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just excited to kind of get started. I'm just waiting for my start date. They said it will be probably mid-February. Just kind of waiting for all of my certificates and everything to go through, and then I'll be ready to start. So I will keep you posted on my Instagram account, and hopefully it will be a job that I absolutely love. I prayed about it. I prayed that the door would be absolutely closed tight shut if this wasn't the job for me, and that I would get the job that kept me on God's path and his purpose for my life, and I got it. So we are just trusting God with this one and see how it goes. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm curious, what do you do for a living? Are you a stay-at-home mum, or do you go out to work? Let me know in the comments what you do, because I always like to get to know you guys better. And I've noticed now people are starting to comment more on my videos, which is awesome, because older videos people weren't really commenting, so I can't get to know you if you don't comment on my videos. So feel free to let me know down in the comments what you do for a living or anything else you want me to know. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do?